Hey, this is John Carlos. And as long as Hot Toys has been making figures, I've been wishing and praying that they do a 1966 Batman and Robin. And they did. So I'm really, really happy to check this out. I pre-ordered this at Corner Store Comics. Let's do this. Here's a look at the packaging of the figure. And I do kind of dig the retro 1960s TV show style artwork. I think it's pretty cool. So not only does this figure come with a lot of really cool accessories, but the interior of the package is an accessory, and we'll take a look at this in a little bit, but it is the side of a building with little windows for Batman to crawl up. Along with all these accessories, like the previous Batman figures, he comes with alternate mouths, and they come in these little vacuum-formed heads, and I think that's a really nice touch. I also think you guys should know that if you're buying this, be careful when you take him out, because his cape slides through a little slot in the back that you'll need to feed it through when you pull the figure out. He starts off with a Batarang. It's pretty cool. It doesn't have the hinge in the middle, so it doesn't bend. And that little hole in the side is for this package of rope that also contains the wrist joints, but you can tie the rope to the Batarang. Now, the best scene in the Batman movie is the scene where he fights off the shark with shark repellent. So I think it's really awesome that they included this. If there's any accessory that I would wish they would have included, it would have been that. So I'm glad they did. He also comes with his tiny radio, and that little hinge swivels on it, so that's cool. And here he comes with the little vacuum-formed head with his little grimace mouth and his sort of mouth that's just barely starting to show teeth. We'll insert those in a moment. His last big accessory is the bomb from the second best scene in the movie when he just, can't get rid of the bomb. Now, he comes with relaxed palm hands, but he also includes fist hands and these little grip hands. These are for gripping the rope if you want him to climb the side of the building. Then he comes in some very specific hands. There is this hand right here, which is meant to hold the shark repellent. So I might as well just do that now. And I think that looks pretty cool. He also comes with this left hand that is supposed to be able to hold the radio. Like so. And then there's also, I think, the best hands, the Batusi hands, so you can make them, pose in a really awesome dance position. And big, wide, open palm, like attack hands. I think these look really awesome. I think they're sculpted very well. And lastly, there's this hand, which I think is meant to hold the Batarang. A couple notes about articulation. Now, this is a figure of a guy wearing tights, and Hot Toys has done a good job of hiding the articulation seams and making it look like a real human physique. But if you look at the back of the legs, you do see the fact that these are leg joints on an action figure. But at least on the front, they really do read like kneecaps. So that's good. Now, another thing I want to point out is everything else about the figure is like hard plastic. His arms, his chest, and all that. But his stomach is like a little squishy little material that you can poke and go hee-hee. But because it's squishy, it kind of limits how much of a joint you get there. So if you really want him to bend down, or if you're doing a crouch and you want to do like a mid-waist cut, you don't get much articulation there. But the rest of the articulation on this figure is really good. I mean, there's a really good range of motion, especially on the arms. I thought maybe there might be like a limitation at the shoulders, but you can get his shoulders to go up really high even with the tights on. I was really surprised by that. Now his outfit as a whole looks really, really good. I'd like to point out just like, the sculpting on the boots, and even the little zipper that goes along the side here. We'll take a closer look at that. The quality of the tights themselves look good. I think the belt turned out great. It's a very simple belt to achieve, but they did a great job with it. Even the stitching, it's very clean stitching. But one thing I'd just like to point out for all you Bat nerds is that you may be aware that on the show, the material that his cowl and his shorts and his boots and his gloves are made of were all the same material. Hot Toys would not be able to do that. There's no way that they could make cloth gloves and cloth boots to match, the cloth cape, nor could they sculpt, a plastic cape and shorts to match the cowl and the gloves. So I think what they've done here by making the boots and gloves and cowl sculpted, but the cape and shorts cloth, but the similar color was the right way to go, and I think it looks really, really cool. Speaking of cool, there's something else I want to show you guys. The way he's positioned now, is so that his cape can drape over like that. That's achieved through these little snaps on the inside of his cape, but you can unsnap them very carefully, I recommend. Hot Toys has used these little snaps in the past, and I didn't mind them in the past because you could just sort of slide your fingernail under them, but what they were sewed to was usually a stable material, but this is stretchy, so I'm afraid, you know, that I'm going to rip it right off. But so you can see that there's two snaps, a closer one which lets it hang over the shoulder, and then this further one that's right on the edge that you can snap on, and it will like hang not as far over his shoulder. Again, there's like a lack of space there, so you have to like try really hard to snap it into place, and it's kind of annoying. Or you could just leave it unsnapped and just hang it wherever you want. Another thing they've included is two snaps on his back and two snaps on the cape. So if you don't want his cape to flow wildly, if you want it to hang to his body closer, you just snap them in the back there. Now let's take a closer look at his head sculpt, because I think they've done a really fantastic job with it. The likeness of Adam West is just fantastic. But I think where it really scores points to me is, as usual, great paint to achieve like a very human skin-like surface. I mean, just that little wrinkle by his mouth there, and all the little freckling. They're really good at using freckling, a little light freckling to achieve paint likenesses. But even look at his eyeballs, just like how glassy and lifelike they are. I think they did a really good job there. Now let's try popping his little face piece out. And we'll pop in his Angry Grimace one. Good work on the teeth there. They've done some really good work with teeth lately. And again, the sculpting around his mouth and lips is really solid. And lastly, we'll take a look at what I think is his best one. And I recommend popping it under the chin first and then pushing it upwards so it doesn't snag on the cowl too much. Is this one, where it's just sort of a, you know, it's funny, the eyes stay the same, but the mouth really makes the whole facial expression change. It really does make him look kind of intense and inquisitive and like about to kick some ass. I really dig this one a lot, especially the way they sculpted the teeth within the mouth. There's some nice depth within that mouth there, and overall, I think the cowl and just the way that the bat ears kind of, you know, fold a little bit the way they did on the show. I think the head sculpt, the material, all of it looks great. So I have tied the rope to the Batarang, and according to the Hot Toys instructions, you're supposed to slide the Batarang all the way into this slot, and then you just drape the rope over, and using the correct grip hands, you can use Batman to climb on this building. Now I'm going to put Amy Pond in there, another figure who has noticeable joints under her tights, to be his neighbor. And then you can just sort of prop these windows open. They have like a perforated edge. So now I'm going to put the correct hands on and we'll do this. I'm happy to say that taking off the hands and putting on the alternate hands was really easy. There was no stiff wrist joints whatsoever. And I really like the inclusion of this diorama type piece as part of the packaging. I just need Robin's so he can hold the end of this rope so it doesn't droop down. And Robin's packaging also does this, and they do kind of stack up side to side, so you can have the two of them doing this. Looks cool, I think. The shoulder joints in this figure are fantastic. They have a lot of good mobility, which allows me to get them all the way up so we can hold this bomb. And the tights have a lot of good flexibility, so they don't feel like they're ever going to rip or tear. They move with the figure really well. This is pretty much all I ever wanted in a 1966 Hot Toys Batman figure. The outfit looks good, the paint on the face and cowl is great, and he comes with exactly the accessories I hoped he'd come with. Now keep your eyes peeled for my upcoming Robin review. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks for watching.